I'm Lauren Julerat, and I'm here with
Deficit Space.
I'm Lauren Julerat, and I'm here with
Dylan.
I'm John as well.
Laney.
We're Deficit Space. I play guitar.
I play the keyboard.
I play bass.
And I play the drums.
You think you're so fucking funny, huh?
Almost forgot to introduce our drummer. This is our drummer here. I'm Sam.
And then how long has your band been formed? Because it started with two of you back in 2021. Was it you guys that started it initially, and then you met Laney and Sam later on?
So it was actually initially me and Sam who started it. It started as a solo project for me, and then Sam produced, mixed, and mastered the songs. And then when I wanted to start playing live, that's when I got John involved. So our first two shows was just us two. And then later on I got Sam involved on drums again, and then Laney involved on bass for these last two shows.
Dylan, Sam, and I all met in high school, actually, through drama class, more or less. And then Dylan and Laney actually met. I'll let you go ahead and tell.
Yeah, I was in a different band, and Dylan followed our band for a while, and he kind of asked me to be the bassist a while ago, but I was a classic, flaky musician, and he helped me with my projects, and we became friends for a while, and I was like, oh, Dylan's super cool, why am I not doing this? So I'm having fun. It's a blast.
And why the name Deficit Space? Who decided on it, or how did it come about?
That was me. I think space is really cool, and I like sci-fi movies a lot, and so that's where the space part came from. And then I have ADHD, so it's attention hyperactive deficit disorder. So I was like, deficit's a cool word. I don't really know what it means, but I since now know what it means. But at the time I was just like, yeah, we'll put those two things together. So and that's how I came up with it.
You began playing live the Hollow Project nearly 3 years after you started creating music behind a screen. What was the difference from producing it, making it, and then being on a stage in front of people and performing it live?
It was really scary. It was really different. When I first started recording, I didn't even know for sure if I wanted to play that stuff live, because I was like, maybe I'll just put this out as a outlet, creative outlet. And then I got inspired to play live because I interviewed Brigden from Bugbath. I did an interview with him, and he talked about just how much fun it was and how much joy he got out of playing the songs he wrote live. So, and then I saw Neutral Ground was doing signups for their shows, and I was like, all right, I'll sign myself up, but I don't have a band. So that's when I made a post asking if anyone wanted to make a band. Laney had responded, and then John responded as well. And yeah, it was really cool to be able to play these songs. It's still kind of surreal to be playing originals in front of people, but yeah.
I know you had experience prior playing live music in your old band Minute on the Moon, so was it nice to kind of get back on the scene, or it was still a little nerve-wracking?
That's why I didn't do it for so long. Dylan was like, you can play if you want, but then would hit me up every now and then, be like, you can still play. And I was really nervous, but it's been a lot of fun, and it's really wholesome, and it's nice to see everyone's faces again, and just the experience of playing a show in itself is really fulfilling, and especially doing it with a group, it's just really awesome. So
we've done a couple of open mics together as a separate project. So I had a little bit of experience under my belt, but this was definitely our first paid we're playing at a venue type of gig. So there was definitely that pressure there to try and make it perfect. And I would say I'm getting a little bit better at dealing with those nerves, but it's still it's still there. You still feel it when you're about to go up on stage, for sure. So
Do you guys have any like pre-show rituals to help get rid of like nervousness? Do you go somewhere to eat? Do you just practice up until the show? Anything special?
We usually we'll run through the set list. These last few times we just run through it like the week before like we're about to play. Don't have any specific rituals yet. This last show we kind of just like realized how many people were pouring in before we came on, and we just all looked at each other and we're like, oh my god, that's a lot of people. I was saying we should start stretching before shows because I got like really sore last time, so.
I love it. And I probably should have asked this earlier, but what made you want to start making music like solo? Because, oh my god, I'm losing my voice. Sorry. I was going to say Deficit Space wouldn't be here without you starting as a solo project. So what initially made you want to start making music?
Well, I was in a band with John and Sam for a little bit, and we mostly just did covers and stuff. And we had done a few open mics together, and that's how I first kind of got into playing. And I was like mostly just playing bass for that, but then that project kind of like took a break for a while, and I had a lot of song ideas, and I had never tried writing before, so then I tried writing stuff, and eventually I came up with stuff that I actually thought was okay. And then that's when I was like, okay, maybe I could release this, maybe I could record this, you know? So yeah, and it just became a great outlet for me just creatively, and just with everything, like songwriting just became a great outlet for any personal things I had going on. So yeah, and then it kind of just continued from there.
And then what's your guys' songwriting process like now? Does one person pitch an idea and you build off of it? Is it more like collaborative all together?
I'll usually do lyrics, rhythm, and then I hand the reins to these guys to do their parts. Yeah. Yeah. But I do want to, once we have like a lull between shows, I want to like be able to actually sit down and do lyrics and stuff with these guys too and everything like that. So.
And as of right now, you've played a total of 5 shows, and your 6th show will be November 23rd at Low Bar. Since, starting to play shows, do you feel like your stage presence has gotten better? Do you feel more confident, as a band, like bonding together, practicing, performing?
Oh my gosh. Well, this is only my 3rd show with you guys, but I don't know. So far, I've had a blast. Like I think. Yeah, every time we practice, I feel more comfortable. Like, bass is still a very new thing for me, and I haven't touched it for a while. So, like, every time we practice, I'm like, oh, it's good. We're fine. Or I get really nervous to play a show, and even during the show, I might feel super nervous. But, like, right after, I'm like, that was so good. And that's the experience I've had every single time. So, I'm really, really excited. And this is new. I've never been to Low Bar, so I think it should be really cool. I've heard great things. John?
Yeah, I mean it's a process for sure. I mean, there's always something that I walk away with each show feeling like, yeah, I could have definitely improved on that for sure. Like it's very hard not to be too tough on yourself at the same time. But there's also this fulfillment of like, man, yeah, that, like Laney was saying, it's just so fun. I mean, it's just incredibly fulfilling. And, it's really just about like trying to learn from each moment and trying to apply that to the next time, and I've been getting better at not being so terrified, but it still shows up. And, like I said earlier, managing that is that's going to be a big one for a while. That's a long-term battle for sure. But
I would agree. The fear is always going to be there, like the anxiety is going to be there, but I feel like that's a good indicator though that you like care about what you're doing and care about it being good and sounding good. And yeah, I never in a million years thought I would be a lead singer of a band, so I'm still getting used to that being a thing. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I think the 4 of us have really started to like sync up a lot like with each show. And I think that will hopefully, continue going forward.
Speaking of like shows and improving and, you know, like critiquing yourself, is there like any unique or unexpected feedback you've gotten from a show or a certain song that, I don't know, helped in the overall process?
I've had pretty much once per show, I've had at least one person that's very close to me, and it's always a different person, tell me to project more in the microphone. That's a huge deal for me. It's like I'm like, oh, this time I finally nailed it. Like I'm fully audible. Like, and then I walk out of the show and it's like, well, I could barely hear you. You kind of got to project a little bit. I'm like, oh man, every single time. So maybe that sixth show will drive it home.
I've had like a friend once tell me like at our like second show, like a specific song would be better if it was in a different spot, and then we did actually end up for the next show like putting it in that slot, and I think it functioned a lot better in the set list. And yeah, I've also had people tell me to project too, so that's something I gotta work on. A good half of our set list is unreleased right now, so we have songs that I put on the set list that they helped me with like everything else on. I did the rhythm and the lyrics, and they're a lot like heavier, like, or not a lot heavier, but they're somewhat heavier than the songs that have been put out on Spotify. Like they're more like rock influenced, I'd say, and those have been a lot of fun to play. So
I was gonna ask Sam this next question, but one of you can answer for him. I was gonna say that Sam mixed and mastered the song Berkeley and also Push, correct? Does he typically master and mix and produce your guys' songs?
Yeah, so I mix, mastered, Push, Don't Live There in Berkeley, and yeah, no, he does. He mixed and mastered those songs and he produces his own music as well, which is pretty good. Sam, you should promote your music. Sam King on Spotify. He's a very talented guy. But yeah, he's produced those, and then I self-produced Last Halloween and On. I just recorded those on Soundtrap. So yeah, but he did the other three, and then if we record again, he might work on those as well if he wants to. We'll see how he feels about it, but he's nervous.
And then I was gonna say you all have your own creative outlets separate from this band. You make your own music. You two have a film production thing called Spitfire Film or Production, sort of. And you were in Minute on the Moon. And how does all of your creative outlets or prior experience help with making music or being in this band?
Well, Minute on the Moon was my first band, and I think that really taught me a lot about just being in a band and working with people with music and writing with people and just team building. And yeah, I played live shows for the first time with Minute and all that, so it really set me up really well for these guys, which is helpful. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, making film specifically, and really anything like that creatively, it's just because we really like telling stories, and I think music does that, beautifully. I mean, there's an outlet for every single type of story, and like the type of stories that music tells is very unique to me, and it's just awesome. And the two really go hand in hand for us a lot of times, because like we'll have music and we'll be like, man, like we should make a music video for this, like, and we have those capabilities. So in that regard, it's like it's really fun, but it also just really motivates us to be open creatively, whether it be in film or in music. I think that's really my biggest takeaway.
Yeah, and I feel like you phrased that pretty well. I think I agree, like whether it's filmmaking or making music, like having a creative outlet to express myself through or express ourselves through has just always been just like a great thing to have in life.
Sometimes it can be hard to stay motivated as a band. Either you get busy with life, with work, school, your own things. How do you guys stay motivated if you're like in a rut? Maybe you have like creative block. What do you guys do to kind of motivate and push each other to keep working, making music?
I think specifically with this band, what keeps me motivated was like the fact that Dylan was my friend before all of this, so I'm more motivated to like, Dylan's my friend, and like being there for him in this way is important to me, but also in the end, like I get that fulfillment and I recognize that afterward, which sometimes doesn't help with the motivation. But like I think that's a good starter, at least for me in this band.
That's really nice. I have thanks, I appreciate it. I have issues with motivation. I think this guy really helps me stay motivated. Like, he'll be like, "You ready to do the show?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, I'm ready, man." Like, we're all four of us are there together. Like, I think ultimately the biggest motivator for me is everybody being involved here. Like, you know, I obviously Sam and Dylon I've known since high school, and Laney's I couldn't imagine a better fit for the band. So I mean, like it helps going into practice, like knowing, oh yeah, like I actually really gel with these people, and like I'm going to also like be with my friends, you know. So that's really I had that's what helped me get out of my motivation rut in high school. Ultimately, I would say.
Yeah, I would agree with them as well. Like, I think just being able to play music with people who are also just fun to hang out with, like, definitely helps with like motivation. If I was just doing this by myself, like, I mean, it happened. Like, I got out of it for a while, you know. But I think playing live and having others involved with this project has really helped me stay motivated, and people who are fun to play with, people I like to hang out with, who I call friends, you know. I think that's really important. So
what's your guys' biggest band pet peeve within your own band, or it could be like a pet peeve of other bands, shows, stuff like that?
My biggest pet peeve is when Sam doesn't text me back. With other bands, I don't really have too many pet peeves with this band. These guys have made it very easy to be a band with. All jokes aside, you know, love you, Sam. Oh gosh, I don't know. When a band does like a solo for too long, I'd say, when there's just like an instrumental break that lasts like 7 minutes, and then I'm like, okay, guys, you know, you guys, you know, it's cool, but my feet are tired, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Do you have any band pet peeves?
No, take it away, Dylan. I got nothing. That was good.
Yeah, I mean, I got nothing. I second the Sam thing. Love you, Sam.
Love you, Sam.
I was gonna ask if you guys have any favorite local bands that you've played with before, or that you look forward to playing with in the future.
I love Bug Bath. I interviewed them forever ago. They're awesome. They're a great band. One of my favorite bands. I also love Wormshot, and I want to shout them out because we tried to get a show with them and it kind of fell through, but they got me in contact with Rat Race, who then got us the Ralston show. So big shout out to Wormshot. They're awesome. So I'd say right now my favorite's probably Wormshot. So
I gotta say, everyone, I don't really have a favorite because every band that we've shared the stage with has been so incredibly nice and so cool. I mean, just ultimately, like, so awesome. So it's like, it's really hard to pick a favorite out of all of them. You have any?
It's been a while since I've been in the scene, so I'm kind of reintroducing myself to everyone. But shout out Votary. That's like... Throw that out there.
What's like a fun fact about either the band or you guys personally that your fans probably don't know or haven't heard of?
I'll say a band fun fact is the aesthetic of the band was very inspired by the Discovery Channel TV show Lost Tapes. If you know, you know.
I would say, honestly, not a lot of people know that we're also like super hardcore into filmmaking, me and Dylan. And it's not something that really like intersects like a lot in terms of like our audiences versus people that show up to like film festivals. So every time we bring it up with someone, it ends up being kind of like, oh, what? Dude, that's out of nowhere. That's like left field. So I would say that's probably the only thing that comes to mind.
Oh my god. I don't know. I don't know any of the band fun facts. I guess that's it.
Yeah, what's a fun fact about you, Laney?
About me?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I'm so sorry. This is like a pass.
Okay.
A
Yeah,
pass.
no worries.
Sorry, I put you on the spot.
It's okay.
Laney really likes Claro's new album.
It's
a fun fact.
It's so good.
For people that are scared to get in a band or join the music scene, what's your advice to them if they're just starting out or they want to get involved?
Don't be afraid to kind of like, don't be afraid to be bad sometimes, you know? It's like, you don't have to be necessarily an expert on music theory or an expert on playing instruments or like the top of the line, top of the top to be able to play live. Like, what really matters is that you're having fun and you like what you're playing. I'm kind of like copying something Brigden said when I interviewed him from Bugbath, but he said like, as long as you're passionate about it, as long as you're excited about what you're doing, then other people are going to be excited about it. And also, I never thought I'd be a lead singer of a band. I'm the shyest dude. I'm the most soft-spoken guy. Like, going to social stuff scares me so bad. But, you know, I'm out there fronting a band because I just wanted to do it, and I think it's going well so far. So, just if you doubt yourself, you know, just give it a try. Maybe you'll like it.
Yeah, I mean, Dylan put it pretty well, but I mean, ultimately, like, if the passion's there, if you go out and do something with it, then like you're a musician, you know. I think that's ultimately how it goes, you know. Like, I think a lot of people are so worried about making it perfect and building the right path to become a rock star, and like ultimately it's just about like you can make music and not have to perform it, or you can perform and not have to record. Like, it's all about what you want out of the music life, you know. And I think that as long as you set clear goals for yourself and go out and get it done, like with someone or with a lot of other people, like you can make it happen easily, you know. Sorry.
No, you're good. I feel like, yeah, there shouldn't be any pressure. I mean, not any, that's, yeah, I don't know. I feel like there shouldn't be so much pressure. I feel like you shouldn't feel like you have to impress people. You, as a musician and with your sound, you attract a certain crowd, and it's kind of like friends, you know. I think it's a lot of go with the flow, and that's what I've learned. Is as long as you're flowing with it, as long as you're being patient, it's fun, it's a good time, and that's what matters. And you don't have to overthink it any more than that.
My name is Lauren Julerat, and this has been an interview with
Deficit Space. Make sure to follow our Instagram at Deficit Space, Spotify, Deficit Space, and that's where you can find any updates on shows, new music, all that fun stuff. Take it away, Sam.
I slept with your mother.
When I was like 8, I was on the Justin Bieber like protest riot. Hated that guy. And my parents got me a Justin Bieber CD because they didn't believe me. And I lost my mind. I was really, really angry. I felt like it was a wasted good gift. That's my hot take.
Sam, what do you think? My favorite gift is being in this band, and it means so much to me that to be here and to play drums for you guys. It's very nice, Sam. Thanks for saying that.
We should put in an audio clip, have him send something in that's completely random, and then Ryan will just put it over. Okay, perfect.
I can find something of him too. Like he's in some of our like short films, so I could probably clip something too.